Welcome everybody. Welcome to the broadcast. We are YouTubing again. YouTubing is great. Glad to have you on, all of you. Those who have not joined us yet, please do join us tonight. We have a few things we want to talk about, and we want to get with it as quickly as possible. See where we're just gonna get going. So, while you are on, and please remember to like and subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. Like the video, give the video, 1, 2 thumbs up, and make a comment or two. So here we go. We have a few things to discuss tonight, and we're gonna wait until we see if nobody wants to join us, because it don't look like nobody joining us. So we're going to, hold on a bit and see if a couple of people can join us, and then we get going. But do remember, if you have not yet, we are YouTubing. We are YouTubing. YouTubing. We all are. Thank you for joining me. If you have not yet subscribed, please remember, subscribe. Like the video, give it that thumb thing, yeah? And if you feel up to it, make a comment. Good night, good night, good night, everyone. Let's take a few just to say we are YouTubing indeed. Good night, darling. Good night, Sandra. Good night, Clive. Good night, Maxwell and Maxine. And good night, all. Good night, everybody. I can't, get to name everybody and say good night to all of you. But we're just going to plunge right in. So the Diaspora Conference has begun, and I understand that the 10th biannual conference of the diaspora. And this whole diaspora thing came together. PJ was pushing it, and we give him PJ for props for that. But I understand that Mark was down there. I don't know what exactly his speech was about, but I understand him also say a few things, trying to big up his own self, and still go there with his agenda, pushing the agenda to help him. And I wonder, and I asked a question, and I wonder that with all the excitement that took place in Washington, D.C. last Saturday, how come Mark didn't just buy a ticket for Rattigan and the next traitor named Francis? Mark could have just buy 2 tickets for them and let them come down and go down to Montego Bay and give them an opportunity to come say what they have to say. I mean, if their argument and their cause is good, what to stop them from Mark buying the ticket, because it's Mark financing everything that they're doing. So what to stop them from getting those tickets, go down to Montego Bay, see if them can get half of those Montegonians to stand up with them and quarrel about anything they want to quarrel about. I mean, this is Jamaica. And if they say that their argument is in defense of something that they believe that is wrong with Jamaica, they still do have an excellent opportunity in the Diaspora Conference to go down to Montego Bay and demand to be heard. Nobody could put them out. So here's it I'm putting out. Conference not done yet. I'm saying to the ministers and the people that are responsible for this Diaspora Conference, buy a ticket for Rattigan, that rat. Buy a ticket for the rat, and buy a ticket for the next assistant rat. Them name Francis. So you have rat, you have deputy rats and assistant rats. So buy 2 tickets for them. Let them come down to Mobile. Let us see if them can get half a dozen people to stand up with them and voice their concerns as to what exactly them inner words about. Instead of being on foreign soil, holding up all kind of signs that discriminate against people. Yeah, I saw that sign. I saw the discriminatory sign against the LGBTQ community. You know who else saw that sign? You don't know who else saw that sign? Many other people saw that sign, including the mayor of DC. Yeah, big, strapped in, bright woman named Muriel Bowser. She saw that anti-LGBTQ sign as well. You know who else saw that sign? That you know have over that side there, one over there, sit down there, a behave as if you think say, you know, a Vegas and them crew go down there and mash you down totally, have no hide under the tent the whole day morning. Everybody turn them back and hide under the tent. Because Vegas and them crew defending Jamaica, said no, go hide. And being the cowards that you all are, you went hiding under the tent with your backs turned. So everything that you went down there to do last Saturday, you failed. But there's hope. There is hope. Look what you did on Saturday. Let's recap some of the things. Vegas and his crew did everything right. The thing was jumping. The thing was just going on. Now, can you imagine this Jamaica, when all the other Jamaicans who are listening? Try and imagine this. Just put this in your head. There is a protest on the right in defense of Jamaica, and there's a protest on the left designed to tear down Jamaica. Let's assume that we are in our communities and we're having this two disagreement. And then one side say, hold up your hand if you love Jamaica. Hold up your hand if you love Jamaica. Hold up your two hand if you love Jamaica. And the crew on the left, whose desire is to tear down Jamaica, could not hold up their hand. Could not hold up their hand. It makes you wonder what exactly is their agenda. Vegas and him crew shouting, hold up your hand if you love Jamaica. And the other crew who came there for a different agenda, nobody could hold up their hand. Nobody could hold up their hand, which is basically saying, no, don't love Jamaica. But if that was bad, think about how Vegas and him crew singing the national anthem. And nobody over the next side joined in the national anthem. You think you're making a good case for yourself? You see that everybody see what exactly what your agenda is and what it is about? Everybody see it? Because no matter how much we quarreling and disagree, when the Jamaican anthem are play, you stop what you do. When somebody has sing it, you stop what you do and you join in and you sing the Jamaican anthem. And Uno couldn't do that. Uno couldn't do that. You know why I couldn't do it? Uno intentions are not noble. Uno couldn't do it because Uno wicked and cruel and want to go down there for Uno couldn't get to achieve it. Uno do it the same way Mark Golding, when he became leader of the PNP, he couldn't show up at any of the flag raising ceremony. Could not show up at the flag raising ceremony, independence celebration that includes saluting our flag. He could not show up at any of those because it would require him to salute the Jamaican flag. And he couldn't do that because he don't represent Jamaica. Jamaica don't mean nothing to him. Jamaica is just a pawn in a whatever game that he is also a pawn and an agent. And Uno over that side, yes, rat, you may talk and your assistant and deputy rats them. All of them. All of Uno may talk. Uno in at the square. One crew, nah cussing. Nobody nah cussing. Just a telling the truth. Uno a traitor, Uno sell out, Uno evil. Eternal Father, bless our land. Guard us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil power. Be our light through countless hours. Man, when you hear that, you can't help yourself if you're a Jamaican, you know. You automatically start singing and hum. And you know what? None of you under that tent was either automatically singing or automatically humming. You know why I know that? Because I have recording from under the tent. Every little thing under there grumbling and mumble about, people were there recording it. I will have several small recordings. Everything under the tent and mumbling and grumble about. Which is nothing have to do with Jamaica except our own personal agenda. And tonight, I'm going to point out some more things. about Uno and that little tent there that Mark grew the money to set up and come down to Washington, D.C. to come create excitement for Jamaica. First, Uno got trashed. Totally trashed. Yeah, man, Uno lose big lose. And I never knew just how big the loss was until I spoke to some people yesterday, Monday. Yes, yesterday. You see, I tell you all the while, you need to be careful how you do this thing, you know. You need to be careful. It's a small world, you know. The world looks large, but it is not. It's because of social media and global politics and globalization and people being in everybody's space and everybody on social media doing something and people meeting and linking and greeting and making friends. It is because of that why the world is smaller, much smaller than it actually is because of that. So here you are, down in Washington, D.C., that does not have, Washington, D.C. I think have one congressional seat. Washington, D.C. does not have a senator. Washington, D.C. Doesn't have a governor. Washington, D.C. has a mayor. Washington, D.C. has a mayor. And her name is Muriel Bowers. And very rough woman. Very nice and soft, but she rough. Be careful to deal with her. And I thought to myself last week, going into this thing, that I need to touch base with some people. And when I say people, I don't mean no bigwigs, because I really don't know no bigwigs down there. But I do know a few congressional staff, people who work with congressmen and congresswomen, staff, people that just work in the Congress, doing things, odd things, important things, and some of them odd things. And so, I couldn't leave Uno unchecked. I have to make sure, say, Uno get checked. I have to make sure, say, every single one of your face is on camera. I have to make sure that we get sound out on the tent. And we got sound out on the tent, and we know the face of all of Uno that was there. But here's the other thing. The mayor and the mayor's office saw that anti-LGBTQ sign that you all had. They have it. They have it on camera, they have it on picture, they have it on WhatsApp, and they're soon with it. So that's the other thing. Them people like them things. The third thing is this. Some of the people that were there in support of tearing down Jamaica don't live nowhere. I'm really not this up the body. Because I tell it as it is. The rat and him deputy rats and him assistant rats, them all tell people to come. We're going to demonstrate, we're going to protest. For what? Most of them don't know. Some of them don't live nowhere. I mean that. I don't say that with any rancor. I feel it for them. Some of them don't live nowhere. I don't know where the rat and all the assistant and deputy rats promise those who don't live nowhere. I don't know what them promise, you know. Some of them people in country illegally. Not a big deal. A group of people down there illegally. But only the people in country illegally, only the people in country and don't live nowhere, and will go out a road and show up on the colours so that traitors to the country want to come from. How do you think that when be for Uno now? Tell me. Because powers that be can make life difficult for someone, you know. Without a shadow of a doubt, you know. Powers that be, simple little things. Simple things can make life difficult for Uno. Uno don't live nowhere. Uno don't have no work. Uno illegal and people in country. And Uno depend foreign soil and degrade Uno own country. How Uno think that is going to bode for you whenever themselves make a move about something? How do you think that way make Uno look? How that way look on a resume? Can I make sure so people know something dead, you know? We can make sure people know the dead as God is my witness. Because we are traitors and traitors must be punished. Traitors must be hanged, must be shot, must be tied up in the town square. Traitors must not be rewarded. They must pay a price for being traitors to their country, to their families, to their communities. If you're a traitor, you must pay a price. How you think that went board for you? Those are you gonna live nowhere. Or those are you the people in the country illegally and them and dead under tent. A plot against a country where you come from. How do you think? Huh? When all the Jamaicans there, Vegas and them crew, did an excellent job in representing Jamaica. They try to include you to get you to understand. You never sing the national anthem, how you not sing. That's how much of the grievance them all up into the grievances and feelings. That you couldn't sing the Jamaican anthem with people, but you and them share different views on that particular morning. And you couldn't sing the Jamaican anthem. You couldn't sing the Jamaican anthem. And here we are. This morning, the leader, the white master, the British agent, the British born secret agent planned in our parliament to come take over our government, to hand it to them other British people, went to the diaspora conference this morning. And the only thing that came out of that conference, in terms of what he said, is that him still arguing and still griping that we as Jamaicans should allow him with his British citizenship and his British passport and his British DNA and his British heritage, and we should pass laws that would allow him to become Prime Minister and then allow with an American citizenship, an American green card, an American passport to come serve in our parliament. What exactly is an agenda? Seriously, what is an agenda? Because not only that when give up an American passport to come in Jamaica come serve, you don't want to serve with an American passport. You don't want to serve, you don't quarrel with we. You don't quarrel with us. To come us alone to come serve as if Jamaicans and Jamaicans are down here we can serve without passport, without American passport and British passport. Disrespecting the rest of our citizens to suggest that our citizens that does not have American passport and British passports and Canadian passports not worthy to serve in our parliament. But you are because you have an American passport and you have a British passport and you have a Canadian passport, you have a passport all the way up to Kazoo. And you are saying to us that we buffoons down here must allow you to come take over our parliament. Why? What are up to? Seriously? What are up to? We know what Marky G up to. We have the whole thing now. We know what him up to. The question is, what are up to? What him put up to? And here we are. The diaspora conference, a perfect platform, perfect thing present itself to you, Mr. Rat and the deputy and assistant rats. Perfect opportunity presented to you, the diaspora conference. And I suspect that part of your desire to malign Jamaica's reputation is, part of that desire is to disrupt the diaspora conference. I suspect that was part of your desire to make the diaspora conference into some kind of anti-thing, to beat it up, to mash it up. I suspect that's part of the thing. But as usual, the leader say one thing out of mouth and does another thing. You know, kind of like when William and Kate was coming, he was shouting at the top of his lungs that we need to move away from the British monarchy, and the monarchy need to pay some level of reparations. And then, as Michelle and 411 said, after them say all of that, them give him a call. And them say, yo, you need to cool it down and go walk with William and Kate and carry them down on your constituency. And, you know, some things just kind of come full circle. Them say hindsight is 2020, but when you look at William and Kate's schedule when they came and the amount of time they spent in South St. Andrew, everything just kind of come together. No, you know, it come together and it's there in its fullsomeness and we can see it now. And, you know, at some point I will outline it again to you, but it's fully there now. So yeah, him a quarrel about Uno that him sent out to go quarrel on his behalf to make sure that the Jamaican people will say, yeah, come go and be Prime Minister with your British citizenship and your British passport. And him go to the diaspora conference. And him couldn't put forward a good solid argument to the diaspora conference that would help the real, because that conference and them that are real diaspora. Uno a riffraff. Uno a never say come, say just come, never was. That's Uno. Down there talking foolishness. I put up sign about something about what I say Uno no want to be the barrel sender or send barrel. You know so no rank and face it. Trust me, I cuss for cussing and nasty up, you know. I put up sign about barrel. I want to take this thing for. I want to take off down here. What about barrel? Like when you think somebody frightened from the barrel thing? This thing is a two-way street. It's always been a two-way street. When you send the $100 come to help pay the school fee, when you send the $50 come to help pay the light bill, when you send $100 for somebody's birthday party, and when Uno come and other people come, we send back stuff for Uno. Anyway, the nice big fish them for come from, we set up all night of fry fish. We are roast breadfruit and a wrap breadfruit in a file and I put them in a deep freeze. We are get sweet sour sap. Take out sour sap and wrap up in a file and put it in a deep freeze. Ackee, anywhere to come from, freeze up ackee. We have to hire people to sit down and grate pounds and pounds of sweet potato to bake proper pudding or somehow they come here when they want to cook oxtail and curry goat and freeze it and carry and we get to carry home, which we do willingly. We enjoy doing those things too, coconut drops, real coconut oil. This is a two-way street. And there's nothing in those barrels that only saying that we don't have here. And we live better than some of I mean, I don't want to say this, but we have to tell them because since you know out there with that word barrel argument. Barrel argument, like we check say we are buffoon and we don't have no sense and we know what Jamaicans have visa. What I'm doing? I can't talk about barrel. Nobody not frightened for no barrel anymore. Yeah, people like me. Yeah, barrel. Some look at something come and some look at thing like I like the barrel. When the barrel come, I have some specific things that I want in the barrel. I want some specific Italian breadcrumbs. Yes, I do. I like Italian breadcrumbs. There's a particular brand, and I want that at the barrel. But when you come, me not cook sheep meat, go no. People cook good goat meat, go no. Classic curry goat. I want some for carry home. We want to freeze some for we freeze it for the carry home. We look ackee. Yeah, we get sour sap. Yeah, man. Give them all kind of freeze mango, slice up mango, freeze mango. It's a two-way street. It is a two-way street. And then we go up and send the barrel, or every now and then we send $100 and we send $50. But they can't send $100, come give me another $50. That's soul can rank himself with me and say, no, $50, come give me $100. But uno have up this barrel sign. And my bet is, I'm trying to investigate who's the person that have the barrel sign. Because it's going to be laughable. Very laughable. If the person who had that sign about barrel is one of those who don't live nowhere. It's going to be laughable. It's going to be laughable if the person who had the sign about barrel illegal in people in the country. It's going to be laughable. I'm anxious to find out who had that sign about barrel. We don't have no behavior. We don't out of order. The lengths that we go through to go get fish food, pardon me, and to go fry fish. You know difficult it is to get people to clean up fish. How much time you have to get people to call up. Make people them clean up them fish here. Many Jamaicans have to do that. Because some Jamaicans have some fish they are fry, you know. Cause when she them they're going back tomorrow. It's a two-way street. I want to know coming to bring some stuff. It's a quid pro quo. Wanna give us stuff, we go no stuff. Don't rank on yourself about no barrel. Because quite frankly, someone might want to hear this, and this is something that we really shouldn't be saying. But because of uno and dirty behavior, because uno not grow good, rat, and him assistants and deputy rats, uno not grow good, uno make way for to come talk them something here. Pardon me. Uno make way for to come talk them something here. Yeah. Uno not grow good. But the truth of the matter is, some of us live better than uno down here. Yeah, we do. It's a fact of life. We don't live like rabbits. We don't crawl out a hole a morning time and go to tree job and crawl back in at night time tired and can't even go drink a beer somewhere. We don't do that down here. We don't do that down here. We don't have to worry about the landlord and can't tell the landlord nothing now go on and can't do nobody nothing down there. No landlord can do a soul nothing. Take off the lock off on a door and go out with excitement. We don't live that way there. So yeah, we live better than some of them. We live better than some of them. So don't cut it out because we are cussing right back. We live better than some of them. Yeah, when some of them come and them pass through and they come me yard, they marvel at me yard. It's not rich, we're not rich, but we take time to fix up me yard. Me yard comfortable, can hang out under the gazebo. And if we don't have no money and we don't have no beer, we can't trust to beer. Can't send no trust to beer, give you one and give you one. Yeah. And if you tell us that you come, we would trust chicken to and cook food to eat. It's a two-way street. No, we got to put up sign about barrel. Look at the fright about barrel. What's wrong with you now? Huh? Stop it, man. Because that don't work. So today, on the leader, Mark Jefferson, secret agent Golden, Marky British, went to the diaspora conference, and the only thing that he found it necessary to talk about was the fact that he wants us to bow down and bend over backwards to make it comfortable for him so that he can be his British citizen, keep him citizenship, him passport, him heritage, everything, and rule over us. That's the only thing. Him come out of that griping. Griping about that. When what he should have done, since it's him paying uno and paying for the patty, we don't know if we're going to get Pepsi this time, the patty and the cocoa bread, since it's him paying for that, and the bus fare, the train fares and the bus fares and the plane tickets, what he should have done is organize a plane ticket for Mr. Rat and the assistant rat, or 2-3 assistant rat, maybe 2 deputy rats, 5 rats could have come down here, attend the diaspora conference, ask for an opportunity to speak, because at that point, if anybody at the diaspora conference should deny that, I'll be the first one out there defending that phone. I'll be the first one out there and say, make them talk. But you could have come, go to a mobile and see if you can find out dozen people like you and them go out the road and go out with anything you don't want, because we can go out with anything you don't want and say anything you don't want, because we're in Jamaica. That would have been a good thing. And if this diaspora conference passes you, and you don't get the opportunity to go represent that which you say you're representing, whatever it is, then you're not making no sense. The whole world went soon for what it is. Treacherous, devious, evil, anti-Jamaican people trying to give Mark Golden a way out for give Uno whatever it is in promise Uno. That's how the world went to soon know. Because right now down at DC, I want to measure what I say about that. Right now, the questions I got, I wrote down some questions that came to me from, congressional staffers. Question: what is this all about, Karen? Why are they here? Is this an issue about Jamaica? Why don't they do it in Jamaica? Oh, gee, it's a betrayal. It's a betrayal of country. Oh, we don't support that. Can't make up remember the one. What's it saying? Those are the questions I'm getting. What is it about? What not do on a DC? What does DC have to do with whatever issues you have in a Jamaica? And the diaspora conference is being held in Jamaica. I will never see it fit to come down here to come say what the problem is. Because you don't have no problem. You don't have an agenda. And Mr. Vegas and him crew mash it up sat there. Because they think you was going to have a free run into DC. On the thought that we're going to show up in DC and have a free run and go out on the excitement we want to go out with in New York. DC is not New York. DC is not New York. The Jamaican ambassador and a Kwashi ambassador, and she know many people, including some Trump quacks. And I don't get it. Nobody would get it. There's a conference going on down here. And if needs be, I would still like to suggest that the organizers of the conference, the ministers who is responsible for various things and down there, send a ticket for Mr. Rat and one or two of his assistant rats, deputy rat. Send a ticket for them. Say if them can come down, come catch the last 2 days or so and say what them have to say. Somebody should get them 2 tickets. Because if them have some issues, make them stay so. Because if Ratty gonna look at work, if just at work Ratty gonna look, then him not gonna take the ticket. If it mean Jamaica any good and talking about protesting on foreign soil on behalf of some people in a Jamaica were afraid for protest, which part you ever go and hear for Jamaica afraid for protest? And if you think that some people in Jamaica afraid for protest, come down to the diaspora conference. Come and go down there. I am sure you'll find that those people that are meant to be probably agree with you. But come to it on Jamaican soil. This is a very, 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 very good opportunity for you to come say what you have to say. Hey, Mr. Rat, you and, 2 of your deputy rats could have come down there. In the meantime, I am serious and I want the government of this country to consider this very seriously and stop taking these things lightly. I don't want the government to get up and start quarreling with this ragtag group of treacherous wannabes. Never was, just come, never say come see. I don't want government an argument with them. But I want the government to understand this. You cannot have Jamaicans on foreign soil maligning the name of the country and threatening our brand. And somebody asked me to explain what is brand Jamaica. I'm going to try. Don't know if I can, but I'll make an attempt. You cannot have these people doing this damage to our country while some of them still very much holds a Jamaican passport because they love to have it, They must show off themselves, They have them green card, they have them American passport, but all of them still like to have a Jamaican passport. And the government must start considering actions against them. And I already suggest what the action should be. Do not renew the passports that them have. Ban them from the country for 10 years. Them could have 600 British passports and 700 United States passports. Ban them from coming into the country for 10 years for what they have done. The damage, the international damage that they have caused. Now imagine we are in Pride Month, communicating with Pride people all over the world. And everybody asks me what's happening in Jamaica when them see this foolishness that comes up and them thing when me and them are communicate. What's happening? And then I have to explain to them, say, no, this is not Jamaica. These are some treacherous Jamaica. These are some people who betray our country. And them on foreign soil trying to show up them colors. You don't want to hear what some people, particularly the Israelis tell me, the Jews tell me, my Jewish friends tell me that what should be done to them. Come down to Jamaica, the diaspora conference, come so enough to say. And don't rank up on yourself with we about the barrel. Because I'm not frightened for on the damn barrel. Because we don't send barrel, but we cook. We cook oxtail and curry goat. Oh, right. You know much I want to cover about curry goat and oxtail. I have to freeze it for the carry up. God, it's so pardon me. Which we gladly do. Because we like to do it. Pack up stuff. Fry fish all night. We upper fry fish. Pack stuff. Properly food. One carry the them. Got airport one day. One woman, she a try fix up her various bags and suitcase. The woman have one suitcase full of bun. The little round bun them. Maybe one hell of a suitcase full of a bun. And the lady or the family members who bought those buns and get help her to try see if she can spread them out to the various things for manage the weight. And she happy she not left one. No, me not left none, me not left none. She don't buy one. People just buy them, give her. And then you can talk about, on the damn full barrel. We don't have nothing down there we don't have here. The only thing on the prime, and we have everything we want to have, including false bottom and false eye and false eye kind of thing. Ask Bunting side chick. Ask her. We have everything we want to have down there. There's nothing down there that Una don't have. Una have that we don't have. So don't come to us with that. When Mark Golding went to the diaspora conference and talking about all of that, this inclusive, let me not misquoting. Let me go back exactly to what they said that he said. The news media said that he said. And I want to help him out with something so that he can understand how this thing works. Because it don't look like him have a full understanding of how this thing actually go. So him said that the meaning of being Jamaican must form part of the dialogue, conversation on constitutional reform continues. To recommend that people who have basically dual citizenship must be able to serve in our parliament. Now, a lot of people saying that people who have dual citizenship should not serve in the parliament. I am kind of changing my position a little bit. That people who have dual citizenship and come home, come build them house, and set up them little business, and feel like they want to serve the country at a parliamentary level, possibly. But I draw the line at Prime Minister and leader of the opposition. And I remember today, sitting right here in this chair, just cocking my foot and thinking, Ronald Reagan is one of my favorite presidents of the United States. Yes, he was a Republican, but Reagan was one of my favorite presidents. And Reagan said something in his last year as president. He was talking about the immigration thing in America. And he was making the point that America is made up of immigrants. True, he was making that point. And when the Americans separate from Britain in 17, with the revolution, when the resistance was formed in America, in mid 1772, 73, them started them excitement to get rid of King George and him crew. The Americans separated themselves from Britain and wrote their own constitution. Reagan said, a Chinaman, a black man can go to China and work and live in China, but he will never be a Chinaman. A black man can go to Russia, work and live in Russia, have a Russian family, but he would never be a Russian. But a Chinaman, a black man from Africa, a Russian can come to America and be an American. Reagan said that. That said, any immigrant can run for office in the United States. Any immigrant. Ilhan Omar come from Egypt. Next one from represent Minnesota. She comes from I think India. And I mean a lot of representatives of down in the United States come from different places. Arnold Schwarzenegger is from Austria. And they can hold any office any elected office, any appointed office in the United States, except for president and vice president. Except for president and vice president. You have to born there. You have to born there to be president. The only requirement, well, a few requirements for president. You can be an half idiot. You can be a numbskull. You can be a cokehead. If Trump should go to jail, he can run for president in jail. If July come and the judge sentence him to lock him up, he can stay in that jail and continue his campaign to be president. Anybody can run for elected office, except that you have to born in America. You have to born here. You have to born here. That's the difference. You have to born here. We're not going to deal with Britain yet, because I have a number of things tonight, and I was talking about Mr. Marky Shields, but we're going to leave him for later and not dealing with him tonight, because bollocks. Yeah, whatever, man. Marky Shields dropped himself in the middle of this, and I don't know why my wife never control him. Come on, Jamaican woman who have an Englishman and an English husband. We need to control him. Come on, Emily, man. You married to an Englishman and you're a Jamaican woman and you understand the culture down here, and you allow your husband to come stepping at this load of shaving cream? I don't understand it. Oh, you allow him to come stepping at this? Huh? Jamaica 411 deal with him, but I'm going to deal with him again. I'm not going to get away with that. So, anybody can run for office in America, except that if you want to be president or vice president, you have to born and you have to born it. No two way about it. And Mark went to a conference the other day and said that it soon pass. I ever tell some people that, it soon pass. It soon pass, basically, We soon stop talking about it. Never mark it British. It no soon pass. We no soon don't talk about it. You'd be amazed to know how much more information and research, our research turning up. We never start scratch the surface yet. You talk about don't talk about it. You mad? You obviously don't know what it's like a strike out here. You are delusional. You are as delusional as you were since you began. This is not gonna go away. You have to leave. You can't be prime minister. You have to leave out our parliament and respect our laws. You can't want to represent us and to lead us, and you not a respect for our laws. Our constitution is clear. You can't be prime minister unless you renounce. And PJ said it already, without hesitation. You already hesitated. You already made it clear that you're not renouncing, and you're not with Jamaica. You don't have nothing here. Everything where you have, you can fold up and put in your back pocket. You don't own a house here. You don't have no business here. And you want us to give you leadership over us? That's not what happened. But I just want to tell you, Mark, it's not going away as quickly as you want it to. No way. No, go on. It's not a 9-day wonder. You want to run a country, but you have no stake in the development and the prosperity of the country, but you want to lead us. And then you're going to talk about it going to go away. Not going to go away. You can't lead us because you have no stake here. You have no stake in the fire. There's nothing here for you. And we know why. We'll talk about it extensively. As to why, the British is coming. Here. The British is coming. The British is coming. The British are coming. The British are coming. The British are coming. The British are coming. You never hear the story? You never hear the story? One of my favorite books. It kind of tear up now because I spent so much time in it. I have to go fix it up. The Spirit of 1787. The Spirit of 1787, written by a guy named Lomask. It's all about the American Revolution. And there are many stories, many stories or many versions of the story of how Paul Revere rode out all of New England one night. I think it was April 18th of April, 1775. Paul Revere rode out the whole of New England, riding all of the way left from Boston Harbor to warn the country that the British are coming. And one of my favorite, as I said, the story has been told in many different versions of the story. My favorite version is this one, as Lomask told it. Lomask said that on that night, April 1775, April 18, a young boy was down on the docks at the Boston Harbor and heard some British soldiers whispering to each other. One, they were whispering that them going to arrest Preston and them going to arrest Samuel Adams, and the agitators, them who formed the resistance in 1775, the American resistance. Those are the agitators, Preston and Samuel Adams and George Washington, who was a general in the Continental Army and then became first president. And the young fellow heard them a whisper and talking about, one set was talking about arresting Sam Adams and Preston, and the other set were whispering about the forces that are coming. And the resistance in 1775, the American resistance, them had a little plan. Them say, all right, if them coming in from land, you put up one lantern. Or if them coming in from sea, you put up two lanterns, or the other way around. I don't know, what are two? And there's a whispering that them coming, the British are coming. And the local youth hear them and ran down the road, down to the docks, because Paul Revere was owned a stable like a liveryman, like he made horseshoe and repair horseshoes and stuff. And the local youth run breathlessly down to Paul Revere and tell him what he heard. Say, the man them said the British, they come. They come with ships and bayonets. And Revere jump on him horse and ride for like 14 hours the whole night, knocking on every door throughout all of New England, knocking on every door and saying, man, them are come, the British are coming, the British are coming. Get out on a pickaxe stick, on a broom, on a hammer, on a machete, on a hoe, on a pickaxe, on a fork. Get out on everything you have, everything. Go hide the women and children. Take them to high ground and get out every piece of weapon you can find. Every knife, every machete, every pickaxe stick, every piece of iron. Cause them a come. And the British were shocked when they showed up and found that these simple people, farmers and tailors and bakers and man who fix horseshoes and all of them, they are wait upon them with them pickaxe stick and them machete and some big stone. Man, them build big stone heap and man, them come in and they put up a fight. And the long and short of that is America won its independence from Britain. But that shout, that ride with Paul Revere throughout that night was what started it all. So I am now sounding the alarm to you all. The British are coming. The British are coming. The British are coming. The Jamaican Parliament full of our people, British. Full of our British people. This is not as it seems. It is not as it seems. So I decided to get in touch with the British High Commission in Jamaica just to ask them a few things about Marky British. Because I wanted to know what's going on with this whole thing about a visa in a Jamaican passport and the visa in a diplomatic passport. And I have a nasty habit when I call places like these. A very nasty habit. As the phone is answered, the first thing I say, "Good morning, my name is Karen Cecilia Cross." That's the first thing. It usually have an impact. And I totally enjoy it. I can't tell you how much I enjoy doing that. And the phone call went to 2 or 3 people and settled on a 4th person who then decided to have that conversation with me. Now, I'm going through the whole conversation with you, but this is the part I want to share with you. The part where I ask, simple, does a British citizen or someone with a British passport requires a visa to travel to Britain? No, ma'am. No, ma'am, doesn't require. Okay. Have the British High Commission, is the British High Commission has some kind of policy or something where you from time to time issue a British visa to somebody with a British passport? Are you speaking about somebody specific? Yes, sir, Mark Jefferson Golden. That's the man I'm talking about. And let me tell you, sir, what he said. He said that before he told us the truth, he was lying through his teeth. He lied to us, to the Jamaican people, and said that he has a Jamaican passport. And whenever he's traveling to Britain, he goes to the British High Commission and he applied for a British visa. Lie number 1. Then, in true fashion of lying liars lie, him had to come clean and tell the next lie. And after going through all of that, he had to admit that he have a British passport. So I'm asking you again, sir, is it a normal, ordinary policy or thing, special occasion, something, for you to issue a UK visa to somebody who has a British passport, but you're issuing that visa to them in a Jamaican passport? Well, ma'am, I can say that once you have a British passport, you do not require a visa from the High Commission. Does that answer your question, ma'am? No, man, I'm just beginning. I don't even start it. I mean, I kept him on the phone for a while. Clearly, he was like a 3rd level employee. Them pass him on to me. And I can't get him to admit to me that the British High Commission issued a visa to Mark Golden in his Jamaican passport. But then, as is usually the case, in a persistent conversation, or I interrogate the poor young fellow. Because firstly, well, not firstly, but when on the conversation, I said to him, said, somebody's lying. And since you are the guys who issue these things, I'm going to start with an assumption that you are lying. And he said, no, ma'am, quickly. No, ma'am, I'm not lying. We do not issue visas to people who already own, to a person who's the holder of a British passport. I would chit chat a little bit more. I take him round the ring one more time. And I said to him again, Mark Jefferson Golden says that whenever he's traveling to the UK, he comes into you guys with his Jamaican passport and he applies for a UK visa. I want to give him. Is that a normal thing? Did you give him? Did you give a visa in a Jamaican passport? And the young fellow replied, if you have a British passport, you do not require a UK visa in your Jamaican passport. So there. So now, Mark Golden needs to show that passport when I applied for the visa in. But then, I called the Home Office in London. And boy, there's a good thing about Britain. I like a lot of things about Britain. And one of the things I like about Britain is that a lot of how do you find a way? A lot of black people and mixed race people who holds high position in government in Britain. A lot of them. A lot of them not in the parliament, but quite a few of them who hold high positions in government. So this person I'm speaking to at the Home Office in London is a British Muslim from Pakistan. And he's saying to me, after I tell him all that I need from him, and he said, I am guessing that there's a particular reason that you want all of this information for, but you're not sharing it with me. I said, I'd be glad to share it with you. Would you like to hear? I thought you wouldn't want me to give you any specific. I said, no, please, tell me. So I gave him all the specifics. Mark Jefferson Golden, Macromasa, Massa Mark, Marky B, Marky G, Marky British, same one person. And I gave him the background of what I wanted and why I wanted it. And he said, all right, okay. And then he guided me as to how to go get that information. But there's one more place to call, and because some of these information, we will be able to give you X, but this place and that place, which has no relation to us, but would have X, would have Y and Z. So there we have it. We're digging deeper, and I thought I needed to share that with you because Mark Golden believed that this is a 9-day wonder and it's not going to last long. And here he is saying all of those things. When Kate and William came to Jamaica to celebrate Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II's 70th Jubilee, 70 years on the throne, I never thought about it before, but the conversation today helped me some of the conversations, not today, yesterday, helped me understand some of the things. Now, I told you before that when Charles was Prince of Wales, Prince Charles, he has this thing called the Prince's Trust. And he supports a lot of charity throughout the whole Caribbean and Africa. And Charles have come to Jamaica several times and visit the Prince's Trust, have a project down in my constituency. He does, and he support them. When I was doing a course at UWIC about 5 years ago, that was one of our field trip to go find them and go away down there. And William and Kate came, and usually when anybody, a senior member of the royal family, is going on tour, that the agenda, the protocol and where they go, there's a thing for it. I can't remember the name. When they work out where they're going and what they're going to do, that is usually set up by the host country. But it's not just Minister Babsy Grange and the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Prime Minister's office that sat down and worked out the itinerary as to where they're going to visit and how long they're going to stay. No, that is not how it goes. Yes, is the host country set the itinerary, but that itinerary is usually suggested by Buckingham Palace. Boy, the Prince of Wales, he holds this to his heart, so maybe you could give him a visit to this. Or the Princess of Wales is interested in women and education and all of that, which is why Kate ended up at the Charter Teachers College and one of her stops. But I never understood then, but I fully understand now, why they spent so much time in Mark's constituency. And if you listen to 411 video, you might understand some of that. Why they spend so much time down in South St. Andrew. I mean, yeah, you have reggae yard, and them go, William love play the drum and them stuff, because them go all over the world, go do all of that. And you have the Bob Marley thing. But they spent an awful lot of time down in South St. Andrew. And I never understood why. Because royal visits don't work like that. Take it from me. It don't work like that. Yeah? Michelle was reminding me today that when the Queen toured the Caribbean in 1953, when she came down here, the same time when my daddy came, she did the entire Caribbean in like, 2 weeks, she all over the Caribbean, because they don't spend a lot of time in one place. And it was a little strange for me that William and Kate would spend so much time in South St. Andrew. And Mark was the loudest voice out there. The loudest voice before William and Kate came, and the announcement was made. We will leave the British monarchy, and the monarchy must pay us reparations, and it was going on with all kind of things. And then bam, him flip. When Andrew only said there are very few things that him not, well, Andrew only said him not going away. Well, him never not going nothing. But he hosted William at Jamaica House. He had to. He's the head of state. And William is representing the head of state of Britain. But Mark said he wasn't going nowhere. And then bam, Mark was all over the place. Everywhere William and Kate there, Mark was there. And the strangest thing about that was the elaborate statement that he sent out to justify why he was going. This whole long a statement that was not necessary. When I look back at it yesterday, it was not necessary to send out that statement to explain why is it that you're going to these functions. And yet, you never go to the flag raising ceremony of Jamaica because it requires you to salute the Jamaican flag. And he couldn't stomach doing that. Couldn't stomach, but I said Horace Daly and some other people, go to them things there. Them things that required reverence to Jamaica and reverence to Jamaica's heritage and Jamaica's culture and Jamaica's flag and Jamaica's anthem. And he couldn't stand doing that. So while he must run up his mouth about not going to nothing and the British monarchy must pay reparations as if it's the monarchy alone did support slavery. A whole lot of people in Jamaica run business. Them 4 parents support slavery too. I'm a warning already and telling them, anytime I feel like I don't want to protest or demonstrate against William and Kate again, I'm going to call up the whole of the family them name. We don't own slaves down here. I'm going to talk about them the first. I warn Rosalie Hamilton and our crew about that. Mark got a phone call after he was out there making this whole heap of noise about get back reparations and we have to break away from the monarchy, doing Jamaica bad man thing, yeah man, and reparations and all kind of crap. And then a phone call coming and said, listen man, drop it. You need to go walk up and William and Kate. And you're with agent now. You have a responsibility to king and country. And you must drop it, bam, and go walk around with William and Kate. And go everywhere. And go everything. Never miss a thing. Never miss a thing. Because you get a phone call. Remember who you are. I am my father's son. I inherit this thing from my father. I am my father's son. I am my father. So I'm had to go and represent king, queen, and country. We never get it. All the things that come together, yet it coming together now in fine style. Mark Golding have to leave. In cast here. In cast here. In fine style. And so I went and I do all of that. and him want to run this country, but him want to run it with him in British citizenship, and him crew them, and God knows how many other British agents sharpening them claw, getting ready to come down here for Mark Upton Prime Minister. So the plans are in motion in UK as to how many of them are come down here, come hold whatever positions or whatever it is them way to do. But go and take this thing off your joke. You think it's a damn joke? Jamaica don't think this is a damn joke. This is how they enslaved us mentally. This is how they enslaved us financially. This is how they enslaved us economically. You need to understand that this is serious. Dead serious. And don't make Mark Golding telling about it will pass. Him can only tell the cult inside the PNP that is not going to pass. Can't tell good thinking Jamaicans that is not going to pass. So now, let's move on to Mark suing Hero Clark. I see a Hero Clark in him. Mark said I'm going to sue Hero Clark and him file papers and him do a little thing where him say, justice must be done. I want this damn fool there, Jesus. Can somebody slap that man silly? Justice must be done. Because I sue Hero. For Hero asking questions about Sandra's age and his age. And at one age was Sandra pregnant. And we know that Sandra gave birth in Miami, maybe, or England, maybe, or Jamaica. We don't know, but since them get married today and she have the baby tomorrow, I don't know. We don't know. She said the baby born here, but we still don't know yet. But we're getting to the bottom of it. I want to trust me when I tell you, so we're getting to the bottom of it. We will not rest until we reach the bottom of it. So Eli Clark, I got to Eli. That's all I can say. Cause I don't know if Mark, I don't know, I'm looking for something to do. So clearly that is all he can come up with. And he's attempting to sue Hero Clark. It's not only a fool's errand. It is. It's a fool's errand. It's a real foolhardy thing for him to take up himself and say, I'm going to go sue Hero Clark and lose him money and lose him thing. But it's like how the resistance free Sandra, set Sandra free, and Sandra's our own woman now. And have up some of Marky G money and I spend it and have good clothes and all of them something there. And we love up Sandra because we free her. If him proceed with this thing to sue Hero Clark, it has the potential to create an enormous amount of embarrassment. Not we don't respond to him. Every day him get up, him is an embarrassment. But it has the potential to create an enormous amount of embarrassment to Sandra and to him children, particularly him two daughters, them who not like black people really, but them can't take the excitement. You fling a stone off and everybody start ball. The stone will catch them in it, just breeze past and them start ball. But this is a foolhardy event for Mark Golding to try to sue Hero Clark for what could be an embarrassment to Sandra. We don't want embarrassment to Sandra. Resistance don't want embarrassment to Sandra. Resistance, Sandra, we girl. We free up Sandra. Mark have up Sandra, lock her up at the house up there for how much years. No buy no clothes to the woman, no send the woman get no education. The body don't know the woman until him turn politician. And him need for bus a road because she black. And them are going to say white. And them are British, so him need for bus a road. So therefore, we take pride in the fact that we free Sandra. And she now have up to spend some of the money and her name upon some documents, and She buy new clothes and she travel up and down. And we love up Sandra, you know? Free up the little black woman when have lock up in the house like a background master for how much decades. Have do man under bandage. Lack of education, lack of opportunities, lack of social involvement. Where you see my him alone in them dirty tear up bush jacket shirt them and the old ill-fitted pants them. And now him turn politician, him turn senator, and him bust out Sandra one night. And then Sandra start come a road and we like Sandra to enjoy her freedom and some of the money and everything. But this way by doing the right Clark is going to embarrass him. Furthermore, it's going to embarrass Sandra and you know, we don't know. But I don't think this is a good way for him to go. But if you feel strongly about it, Marky British, go right ahead. Do it. The British are coming. The British are coming. The British are coming. That's a shout. All over Jamaica, you better understand. The British are coming. Next topic. You know, 2 years ago, it is 2 years, I think it's in 2022, the Justice Department appointed a special counsel to investigate Trump because he have some classified documents down at Mar-a-Lago and say I film them. Let me say I film them. The archives, which is a very powerful organization, don't take the Congressional Archives, you know, is that a quasi organization, you know, them powerful, trust me. Ask back Trump for some documents we have, and Trump said, nah, give him a film them. Every secret document they have down their field. Eventually, they raided Mar-a-Lago, they take up the boxes of documents, them indict him, they might investigate him, all kind of things are going with poor Trump. About a year after Trump was indicted, the investigation was ongoing until he was indicted. After he was indicted, news broke one day that Vice President Pence also had some top secret documents at his home in Indiana. And then the next day news broke that Joe Biden, while he was vice president, also have some documents down at his home in the garage down in Delaware. Now the two things didn't break exclusively like there was an investigation and they found anything. Those two things broke because the people around both men saw what happening to Trump and the people in Biden's space, and Pence people said to him, it's time, we need to look through your documents then. And they call in the FBI and they call in the archives and they say, we have some documents, we would like you to look through them and see if there's anything. They found a few minor things marked with the classification of secret or top secret. Nothing major. A special counsel was appointed to look into Mr. Biden's home, and they did, and in the report said there was nothing untoward, and he might have interviewed Mr. Biden, and him take a swipe at Mr. Biden about his memory and all that, which is a lie. But the important thing about why I'm telling you this is this. Once Trump was indicted, both President Biden and former Vice President Pence recognized, or the people around them recognized, that there might be documentation based on how the archives were classifying these things and how they were finding Trump own. They said to themselves, because Martin Short, this guy Short, who was Pence's secret, Pence chief of staff, said that when he heard the readout of the indictment, it clicked in his head that all documents are collected when a president or a vice president is leaving office is important, but sometimes things get caught up into things, and he thought that they should inform the National Archives and they should have them come and take a look. Same thing with Biden. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because Julian Robinson, I like Julian Robinson. I've always liked Julian Robinson. And Julian Robinson, some older PNP and plenty members of the resistance consider Julian Robinson a part of the Rice Crew. Most of them figured that Julian Robinson was helpful to Mark Golding, particularly Dayton Campbell and Ian Hills, in the formation of those 400 plus bogus groups. People blame him for that too. People also felt that when he saw those groups coming in, he should have informed the party leader, Peter Phillips. Julian said he did. Some people said that he said, he never tell me, but some people said that he said that he did inform the party leader. But Peter Phillips is not the kind of guy who you can go tell that and say, boy, Bunting and him cool him a farm up 400 group in if you do something about it, boss. Peter Phillips is not that kind of guy. Peter Phillips believes in the democratic norms and practices of the People's National Party and democratic norms and practices of organizations like political organizations in the country that exist, and we should follow them. So Peter Phillips wasn't going to be the guy to say, make them mash them up and tear them up, don't join them, don't make them join, don't make them pay. No. If him tell Peter Phillips will go, yeah, okay, all right. Peter Phillips never see it as nothing, and Peter Phillips never saw it as anything if he told him. Because Peter Phillips is not the kind of guy who would have thought that the man inside a plot to overthrow him and to take over the party and to undermine the 2020 elections. Peter Phillips never thought about that at all. And he probably was right, because in the normal PNP, no leader would have think that. You go to the leader and say, no, say, the man them who want to be leader, a farm up group. Yeah, it's a normal thing, man who want to be leader, a farm up group. But 400 bogus group, most of whom it is said that Julian signed off on, because some of these groups came from constituencies that did not have the constitutional requirements from which to form groups. In other words, some of these constituencies did not have constituency chairman, did not even have an executive body, did not have no leadership in them, but yet they have formed up 30, 40 groups. So Julian Robinson, as a general secretary, should have, get a red flag up, probably alert some other people apart from the party leader about it. But some people say he did not. When the whole kerfuffle started, what some call it, kofife. When the whole kofife started about Mark's British citizenship and his passport, Julian Robinson had an opportunity to do what Biden and Pence did. He had an opportunity to be the kind of guy that a lot of people believe that he is. A stand-up guy, a decent guy, an honest guy. That he would step forward and he would, in the middle of the kerfuffle, say, I am a British born. I was born in Britain. He could have done that. Stop it right in its track. But he allowed it to run. Maybe politicians are politicians, you never can tell what could be the reason behind their thought process or the actions they take or that which they have not taken or did not take. It could be that Mark getting a beating about it and let them go and beat up Mark and him no one and them go beat him up and them go. It could be a coward thing, as well as it could be a thing that I'm going to beat up Mark. What is with Mark? That's nothing to do with me. Me born in Britain. Come here when I was a baby. I am guessing Julian's father worked as a judge in The Hague. I think he represented Jamaica. I am surmising that his father is Jamaican. I am surmising that his mother is maybe Jamaican. I don't know, because all that was said is that he's born in Britain. So I'm still don't come full sum yet. Because there are questions that the media, the people who asked him these questions, didn't go further to ask him. Him being born in Britain is not important. It is, but it is not. Him being born there. It is important, but it is not important. The question is, and should be, and should have been then, is, you were born in Britain, but are you a British citizen? Because being born in Britain don't necessarily mean you are a citizen. My niece born in Britain, she's not a citizen down there. And she don't have a British passport. So the other question should have been to Julian, are you a citizen? And the next question should be, do you possess a British passport? Those questions have not been asked or answered yet. Because he could have been born in Britain and yet be a Jamaican citizen and have no loyalties to Britain. I cannot imagine for the life of me why, and I am not saying that I wouldn't know what to do. You see, because I'm a simple woman with a simple mind, I just think that if the whole thing a tumble down and one man get me I come out and say, boy, me have one too, you know. I mean, I'm a simple-minded person. Julian have ambitions to be leader of the People's National Party. He has prime ministerial ambitions. It's an ambition that a group of people have been nurturing for a while. But if he does have that ambition, and as he said, he's a Jamaican citizen, we still want to know, are you, Julian Robinson, a British citizen? I need to clear that up. Are you a British citizen? You've been born there is unimportant. Important but unimportant. Are you a British citizen? Do you possess a British passport? Have you traveled on and renewed that passport several times over? Those are the questions that Julian needs to answer. And he don't answer those questions yet. And once again, for the people who believe that people hate Mark crime is not being a British born citizen. Mark's crime is consistently lying about it. Consistently not being candid about the true story and the true picture. Who could not have, without hesitation, come forward and say what is what. Julian would have also been around when Portia made that same statement. So she have no problem with people having dual citizenship. But she don't believe they should serve in our nation's parliament. Julian would have had an opportunity to say to Portia, I was born in Britain, and clear up whatever there needs to be clear up. Are you a citizen of the United Kingdom? Do you hold a British passport? Have you renewed that passport? Because if the answer to those questions is yes, then Julian indeed grabbed. As I said from the beginning, I think some people can serve in the parliament. It's a revolving idea, that I'm running around in my head. But you certainly cannot be leader of one of the two major political parties. You cannot be leader of the opposition. You cannot be prime minister with that dual citizenship. Not at all. It is a conflict of interest. It would create a mistrust about you, where your loyalties lie. And the way the world set up now, it would certainly raise doubts about your capability to negotiate on behalf of Jamaica while also holding loyalties on behalf of King Charles III. So Julian needs to be clear about that. I suspect that since he never chose to come out and be clean and say that I too hold a British passport, or I too born in the UK, I assume that the risers them set him up once again by putting out this thing and putting him name as a possible replacement for Mark, so that they could get to expose him. And he missed the opportunity to be clean about it. And that there is a great mistake that he made. And he need to come cleaner now and don't wait for this to boil up into something else. Just answer those questions. Are you a British citizen? Do you have a British passport? And if the answer to those questions is yes, then you have to take the next step. But the whole I need to stop lying to Jamaican people and take Jamaican people for idiot. You can't take me for idiot and lie to me. Yeah, but on taking the Jamaican people for idiot and on the thing say, on all this thing in our head, we only believe that the politics of 10 years ago is the same politics. People are informed. People are informed. People have more information at them fingertips than you can imagine. It's not like 20 or 30 years ago. It's the same thing I was saying to a guidance counselor who called me this morning about an issue at school. And I have to tell her, I said, listen, our teenagers are cramming more sex in one weekend than their menopausal teacher have ever had in their lifetime. So if you ever talk about sex education at school, you have to be real about it. Because them teenagers when you stand up and look down pan, them cram more sex in one weekend than you have ever in your life. And those are the first realities you have to face. And so, you can't take Jamaican people for fool and think that people don't have information at their disposal. And for the Jamaican people who don't have information, there are some of us who believe that they should have it, and we're going to make sure they get it. I just can't just jerk everybody around and believe that all only educated and bright, but we really don't have no sense. Because Julian is an educated guy. I mean, I know who the people are around him that could not have advised him then to say, right in the middle of old Mark thing, you just need to go out and put it out, say, you're born in England. I did not know. And I like Julian. But I didn't know. I didn't know. So, and it is disturbing. It is disturbing coming from a guy like Julian. It is kind of disturbing, you know? And when you have people like Mark, who wants to be leader of this country, but don't see himself having any kind of loyalty to Jamaica, and but him want to be leader, and take everybody for idiot. So Julian need to come clean. I think maybe this is my final topic, and is the topic of Damien Crawford made a faux pas over the weekend, last week one day. And I remember saying to myself, well, this is not the last topic, this is the second to last topic. Saying to myself, when I heard Damien thing, I said to myself, and to all the Damien supporters then, I have always held the very same view of Damien that I'm about to express. That's never changed. Damien has potential. He has a certain kind of style that's attractive to a certain section of the Jamaican population. Not a wide part of the population, a very small part of the population, contrary to what his supporters and his handlers believe. very small part of the Jamaican population that Damien kind of politics is attractive to. You know, when Damien have been doing politics now for about since 2010 or since he went into the YO, and how he went into the YO, and everybody telling me him is the second coming of Jesus Christ. I didn't do absolutely not more talk. I will give you this, I will give you that, and everybody will line up behind him to make him leader. Damien can't lead the People's National Party, and he cannot lead Jamaica. He's not ready. Never ready. He's not ready from them time there. And after 13 years, he's still not ready. And that has been his major problem. Because he's playing that same small game, both in his actions, in his mind, and everything else. Where I don't think him take advice from people, or him don't have good people around him to give him advice. I have always felt that when he was in Portland, running that seat, the very first day I drive out Portland, I said to a number of persons, some MPs were there, and I said, I don't know. If he win, it's going to be by about 300 votes. And if he win today, I'm going to F it up next week, and then I'm going to run him away. That's how I feel about it. Because I don't feel that he has learned anything politically, because everything was given to him. And I'm telling that him is the second coming of Christ. And so I'm going to take the opportunity to learn anything and to know anything. I don't even know how man the goat them get along. I don't even think the goat them listen to him. Because, yes, the party though seems to have some kind of policy platform for each spokesperson to say that this is your policy platform, 10 things. And Mark named this 70-odd member spokesperson cabinet simply because him himself, Mark, want to be able to speak on everything. Because there's 14 of them in the parliament. So once him name them 14 and give them 14 something, the rest are 73, 60 are sitting there. But him alone never talk about it. And when him don't talk good about it, Bunting going and said it and back him up. And Damien don't learn nothing. He is still the same, at the same level of the politics that he was in 2011 when he went to East Rural and talked about plywood politics and all that kind of thing. And when he went to Portland, and when he out there talk about them now give him a seat, and he want a seat like everybody else, and he want to compete for a seat like everybody else, he has not learned a thing. In all these years, he has not grown. There's no growth. He's not showing any level of growth. Because these are simple things that you don't make mistakes about. If you're growing, look at Portia Simpson Miller. Look at Portia. Look back at Portia's legacy and Portia's rise to the top. From Woodall in St. Catherine, down a Payne Avenue, Tony Spalding take her now, and Michael Manley take her man, councillor, member of parliament, growth. And when I told him, and when I said it a number of times, that the only way out for him at the time when I said it was to get a council seat, a safe council seat, and go run it with it, and go learn how to be a politician into a council. Go in a council, go learn how to be a politician and grow, because he still has not grown. And when he fails about what he said or what he did, he's going to tweet some foolishness and still behaving infantile. Because he thinks that something is owed to him. It is baffling to me. But that is what happened when you take a talented little youth and you start telling him that him is the second coming of Christ, and the people who buffering him up and backing him up and financing him and promoting him now help him, because you have to go up on radio to talk about policy. Remember Damien in hibernation, you know. Mark Golding take him And Peter Bunting and say, all right, we'll give you the seat. But you can't open your mouth, you have to shut your mouth, but work the seat and go say nothing. No matter go out there, go hold on, get nothing. Say nothing. Him get the seat for his silence. Say him in silence. And if that is the way he feels that he have to do it, then fine. But elevate your game. Growth. Elevate your game, man. Why would your handlers and maybe him not listen either, but can think him know everything? Maybe there are people around him who want to guide him and say, hey, some of the most learned politicians this world has ever seen. And let us just limit it to Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Let us just limit it there. So. Yeah, but Tony Blair. Let us just, look at some world politician. Trudeau's son, Justin Trudeau. Look at them. Educated, learned politicians. They never, ever go in front of a camera without taking out of them jacket pocket them talking points. You're going on radio to talk about something that you have absolutely no policy to back up. Because Mark Golding have not provided a policy framework from which the spokesperson should place. Because every time somebody go out there and say something, Mark Golding come out and say, that is not the party's position. And I did let me get this thing. Because I did ask Michelle to send it to me. I'm sure you did, Michelle. Let me not say nothing, I'm sure you did. Here we go. Every time somebody speaks, come out and say something, either Dayton Campbell or Mark Golding come out and say, this is not the position of the PNP. Mark Golding makes a statement on dual citizenship, but then say it's not the official position of the PNP. Julian make a statement supporting public sector wage increase, but that is not the official position of the PNP. Tony Hilton, Donna Scott, Matley, all of them. And then Damien. Every time one of them open their mouth, Dayton Campbell and Mark Golding make it clear that that is not the official position of the party. Because their hands and their feet are tied. They are given position, they are given portfolios on which they should be responsible for. How I know this thing works is that you're given a portfolio, you get a team around you, and you start the research, and that team provides you with information, and when time comes for you to speak, your team give you those pieces of card. Every time Hillary Clinton goes to speak somewhere, she have her speech, she have her card. Obama, the great orator, have him card, reach them in pocket, put them in front of him. You have go out, go speak on something of national importance, and you fancy yourself to be the future, and you go out there bareback. You go out there without any backup. Nobody don't say, here's the talking points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nobody don't prepare you. Listen, these are the things that are raging now in the headlines of the news media. So when him go for ask about A, B, C, and D, be prepared for him to ask you about some of the things that just happening around. And this is how you reply. Talking point. Mark Golding passport. This is what you say. Put a laughing emoji and say, you're not going to comment on that. Talking point. GCT. Refer to XY square Z from a party position. Him not ready. No growth. Absolutely no growth. And he has allowed himself to be boxed into that little corner that Bunting and Mark and Dayton Campbell put him, because that was the deal for the seat. So he allowed himself to be boxed in there, and so when him come out, him sound like the CM, and him not a youth anymore. Him over 40 now. He been doing this for a while now. You can't continually asking people to support you. And you not grow. There's no growth. No growth in Damien Crawford. Nothing he has done or said that would suggest that there is growth and there is potential for growth. You know? And We know who he is. He might listen to nobody. Don't listen to a soul. And him have goat, I mean, even if the goat, them I listen to him. But he's not growing. And that's my 2 cents about that. Now, I couldn't close tonight. I could not close tonight without talking about briefly how Mark Golding out there like a sleazy pervert talking about Michael Manley blue pyjama. Somebody help me. Him out there talking about Michael Manley blue pyjama. Like a damn pervert. Now I watched the video. And the reason I watched the video is not only to listen to his words, as I say. I'm going into his body language. I do it. Watch his words, watch his face, watch his body language. And clearly, Mark Golding was no friend of Michael Manley. Michael Manley probably barely know Mark Golding. When Michael Manley retired from politics, he opened an office at Life of Jamaica building in New Kingston, which is just across the road from the VMBS building where Mark Golding office is. I would imagine as a former prime minister, Michael Manley opened him office. Everybody in New Kingston that fancy themselves to be somebody want to go over Michael's office, go hold a conversation with him. I suspect that there's some Mark go hold a conversation with Michael. But not at Michael yard or Michael farm. And whoever tell him that story, somebody tell him a story and tell him to repeat it. And I'm suspecting Beverly Manley probably have something to do with that. But somebody tell him that story. Now, when Michael left and he was set up in business and then he was sick, Danny Roberts always go have breakfast with him on a regular basis. And without warning, he would show up on my yard. Karen, you have 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we're going to have breakfast with Michael. I'm alone having breakfast with Michael because I eat with them, I eat. I depend on the toast and the coffee thing. I depend on that with them. But there's somewhere else inside of the building that eats something else. So we have regular breakfast with Michael Manley. With Danny Roberts, can you come for me and carry me? We used to go to Michael Manley yard regular too as youngsters when Tony Bogues and them write in the books and give us pages of the book to read and to proofread and correct and you know, we are Assad and Pinky and Madge and all we used to be involved in a Michael book as youngsters. So we go to Michael Manley yard. And yes, Michael Manley had a favorite blue pyjama. That's what we know, somebody tell him. But Michael Manley would never come out on his veranda in a pyjama without that piece of robe will look like, sure. Michael Manley had a robe. I'm not come out there in pyjama without him robe. So somebody told Mark Golding that story. And when he was telling the story, I was watching his body language, his eyes, his face. And he was tense around this part of his face when he's saying it. Because him remembering it. There's a tenseness coming around this part of your face when you're trying to remember something that somebody say and you want to repeat it. And your eye do a little thing and there's a tenseness. So I saw that tenseness. If somebody tell him I try to remember to repeat it. Huh? Then there is the fact that if him sit down with Michael Manley at Michael Manley office, what about people go to Michael office when him just set up the office at New Kingston? When him set up the office, I think him got the office set up there over the weekend and he was down there the Sunday afternoon with Danny Roberts said, Kyle, where are you? I'll come for you. Sunday. Because him and Michael involved in a kind of trade union thing. And I was like, Danny Roberts, because, you know, side ride. No, just that, side ride. It was a role in me come bad and I'm an idiot. And we go. Mark Golding can show us a picture with him and Michael Manley. And if that is his new talking point about what kind of great relationship he had with Michael Manley, we're going to shoot it down, because nothing goes so, unless you show some proof. None of us, sir. So leave Michael Manley name out of your mouth. I also noticed in his new thing that his new talking point is not about him, not making me Mark Jefferson Golden Prime Minister, but now talking about the PNP. Boy, politics and politics, quite a thing. But leave Michael Manley blue pajama out of your mouth, Mark Golden, because Michael don't know you, and Michael was no friend, and Michael Manley never come out there in pajama. I'm having a pajama, but I'm having a robe. I tell light on the man about the man come from veranda in a pajama. I mean, it's something him do. Come by the veranda with him coffee in a pajama, but I'm having a robe. You sound like a pervert. Stop it. Don't repeat it. Alright? So, those are the topics that I had lined up. As I said, bollocks. Mr. Mark Shields dip him foot in the whole thing and decided that him want to go back up the other Mark. Marky B and Marky S. And him come out and say something on him Twitter page, and it really galls some people. It certainly irate me. But him even went as far as using a British bad word for us. Bollocks. So I'll have a thing or two to say about that, which I'm going to do in a video to talk about what he was talking about. It's Emily Shields' husband, and maybe I shouldn't beat him up badly, but we're going to set him straight so that him don't ever come out here and get himself involved in a Jamaican thing unless him can show us him Jamaican citizenship. Unless him can tell us that he renounced his British citizenship and he married to a Jamaican, a nice Jamaican woman, and him getting nice Jamaican pum pum, and him thinks him have some kind of right to come out here, come tell you some shit about bollocks. So, Mr. Shields and I are going to have a conversation about bollocks. Because I don't know what got into him for him to go do something like that. Alright, so let's check if there is any questions, anything. Okay, finally, sorry. Somebody had asked me if I could define for them what exactly is brand Jamaica. I believe that this brand Jamaica thing is it's kind of a slogan, a moniker that was developed by the Ministry of Tourism, TPD and the Tourism Ministry and Minister Bartlett, in terms of showing off what makes Jamaica, Jamaica. That, yes, we have crime like everywhere else in the world. Yeah, we have poverty like everywhere else in the world. But we also have Usain Bolt, and we have Shelley and Fraser. And we also have Duns River Falls. And we have Blue Mountain Coffee. And we have, it was designed, I think, to be a kind of North Coast promotion for Jamaica and to promote the unbeaten track of Jamaica, like Portland and St. Thomas and some other place, to promote our off the track things like our key, our people who sell food on the road. So I think that was the idea behind Brand Jamaica, and it was designed mostly to promote that and to promote tourism, but also to sell to the international market, not only for tourists to come, but to build trust and confidence in the Jamaican economy and whatever policies the government practicing to achieve that prosperity and that which they tend to up toward. So I think that was the idea of Brand Jamaica and the whole promotional thing. Brand Jamaica is under no threat from these traitors that Mark Golden employ to tear down Jamaica and to discredit Jamaica on the international stage. It will fail. It will fail cruelly because it failed in Washington, and Rat and him assistant and deputy Rats them don't know that Washington is the political epicenter of the world, and everybody took notice, and some of the congressional staffs know who to bring that matter to, you know, and so that we can start line up people for know say Mark Golding is a traitor from every level, and he has recruited people to betray them country, and that. So that is basically what I understand Brand Jamaica to be. If it is not, if my analysis of it is that doesn't answer all the questions that you ask about it, then I suggest that you get in touch with the Ministry of Tourism or TPDCO and ask them to explain it a little bit more for you. So that's it. Is there anything else? All right. So I want to close by once again bigging up Mr. Vegas and him crew for holding the fort. I can't wait for this treacherous group of people to go down to Canada, because I hear them say them about Canada. I can't wait for them to go to Canada, because I have a whole group of drag queens ready to come hang out with you. I'm going to make them pay dearly for that. So we have a group of drag queens ready to go down there for you. So thank you all very much for joining me. It was great. Do remember to continue to subscribe for those of you who have not yet subscribed. Like the video. Come on, like the video. And send me a comment. Send me a nice comment. But for those of you who don't know how to do nice, it's all right. Send the comment that you want to send. I can live with it. And I know how to answer you most of the time. All right? So thank you all very much for joining me. Please stay safe, everybody, and keep your children safe. God bless you. Good night.